All right. Good morning once again. You are
Good
welcome to
morning, sir.
Digital Z Hub. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
Digital Z Hub is an online training platform where we organize tech training cutting across different aspects of technology. Here we offer training on cybersecurity, data analytics, graphic design, digital marketing, AutoCAD, 650 for accounting students, and so many other programs. Okay, so this is data analytics section. So I'm going to start by, I know we had some conversation, so I will just draw some of the information from that conversation. So I know I've asked you if you have any prior knowledge on this field you are going into. So we'll start with the general introduction to data analytics. The whole of this class will be to lay a strong foundation. We need to understand what this program is all about. You need to understand the various tools that are used in practicing data analysis. And then, of course, we need to also understand the various parts or the various types of data analytics. So that will be our primary objective for this first section. Probably in the next section, we will start taking the tools one after the other. Right, so I am Eguero Prosper, an IT professional. So I'm going to be your instructor throughout the training. So let's start with, I will start by asking you, before now, when you hear data analytics, what comes to your mind? Just to know if you have an idea before now. When you hear data analytics or data analysis, what comes to your mind?
Okay, when I hear about data analysis, what comes to my mind is that a kind of a raw data, maybe from an office, you know, getting a raw data from an office and try to analyze the data. So
Okay,
that's
so
what I can say for now.
indirectly you are saying that it's about working with data, right?
Yes.
It's about working with
Yes, sir.
data, and the word analysis means breaking the data down, right? So if
Yes.
it's about working with data, it means it is the art of reprocessing or processing data. Now, let's look at it from this angle. Every data analyst, in other words, who analyzes data, look for certain things in the data. It's just like this oil explorer. You know, when they are exploring the ground for oil, they till the ground and they are looking for something. They have a goal. They are not just tilling. They are not just drilling the soil. They are looking for something. And when they find that thing, that is going to be their joy. So the same thing, we data analysts. So when we are given data to analyze, there are three things that we look out for. There are three things that every data analyst must prioritize as regard to what he or she is looking for in that data. And those three things, or the application of those three things, will help an organization to make informed decisions. Simple as that. So if you are given a data set, like the raw data, like you establish, and at the end of the day, you are not able to identify these three things, that is as good as you have not done any analysis. So I just want us to register it at the back of our mind as we start this journey, that we have three goals, three objectives. Whenever you are given data as a data analyst, there are three things the owner of that data could not see that you have the technical knowledge to see. And that is what makes you a data expert or a data analyst. I hope that is clear. Sorry, I muted because I was getting a kind of background noise feedback before. So you can unmute yourself and respond. Did you understand that breakdown?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, and I hope you are taking notes, though the video will be
Yes,
available
sir.
at the end of each class, so you can always revisit. But it's good you note down some points as the class is going on. So I'll try to give us a picture of what our objective should be as data analysts. So we look for these three things. And what are these three things? Number one is called trends. So every data analyst, at the end of your analysis, you should be able to come up with what we call executive reports or a workable report, a report that you must have summarized all the insights, a result that or a report that you must have put together your findings. And then these findings they are what the business stakeholder we follow. These are what we guide the business owner in making decisions. So the whole reason why we exist is to help organization to make informed decision after identifying some of these key factor that can help them, like I am explaining now. So we have trend. So trend is just like when we say that, oh, technology is trending. There are other industries out there, but we can identify some that are trending, which means that what? They are doing well, which means that what? They are the ones that are most what? Admire outside there. So if we are to relate that with our data, if we are given different variables in our data, let's assume you have product A and you have product B, you have product C. At the end of your analysis, you are expected to come up with a report that measures the performance of these three products. So at the end of the day, the one you are going to identify not by assumption, it is as a result of your analysis, the one that outperformed the other, that one is the trend. Now, how does
I
identifying...
didn't get you at this point, sorry.
Okay, I said I'm trying to break down the trend. I just use a workable scenario. I said, let's assume that you have three different products in a data set you are given. Let's say product A, product B, product C. And at the end of your analysis, you come up with a report that is pointing at a particular product doing better than the other. Sorry, just a minute. All right, so sorry about that. So like I was saying, I was trying to practicalize what we mean by trend that you should always look out for in every data you are given to analyze. So I was saying, for example, you have three products: product A, product B, and product C. And at the end of your analysis report, you now conclude that product B generated the highest profits. So which means that you analyze profits against what? Products. And you are able to tell the company that this product is doing better. That is the trend we are talking about. I hope that is clear. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So that is the trend. Now, another key thing you search for or you analyze for in a data you are given is what we call pattern. It's what we call pattern. So remember that I am identifying what we look out for in every data set we are given to analyze as data analyst. These should be your goals. If at the end of analyzing your data, you cannot identify any of these three things I'm talking about, it's good as you have not done any analysis. And that is why I'm taking my time to quickly make you to understand our goal. And then how we are going to achieve these goals, they are the tools we want to learn. Because we are not going to use our hand to get all this information. So we are going to use tools, software, to get this information. So the next one is pattern. So what is pattern? So let me illustrate it here. So let's assume that this is the graph of the first product A. Then this is the one of product B, just to show you what patterns are in a data. And then let's say we have this. This is for product C. Now, pattern can be regressive and progressive. Pattern can be regressive and
Sorry,
progressive.
sorry, I was not seeing what you were referring to.
Well, are you seeing the cursor, the pencil moving on the screen? Are you seeing my screen?
No, I'm just seeing you alone. I'm not seeing your screen.
Are you serious? Wow. Okay.
No,
So all this while you have not been seeing my screen.
no, it's you that I'm seeing.
Yeah, just so that I want to reshare now. This once you notice that, always notify on time. Alpha, can you see the screen now?
I can see the screen. Data Analytic
Good,
Masterclass.
good,
That's
good,
what I'm saying.
good. But that is not what we were saying before.
No, what I'm seeing is just you.
Okay, good.
And
So
I'm
now,
even seeing you partly.
okay, okay. Now if you can see what I'm drawing now, check what can you see that I'm doing. I want to find out if you are seeing it.
No, no, I'm not seeing.
You are not seeing what I'm drawing.
No, I'm still seeing your face.
But I thought you say you are seeing data analytics before. You're not
But
that.
it's just there. It's as if the screen is divided into two. So one part is where I'm seeing your face and your name. And then another part is where I'm seeing Data Analytic Masterclass. I
Okay,
can do a screenshot.
okay, let me see. I just want to be sure of what can you see now? Can you see the whole part now?
Okay, I can see. I think it's still, I'm seeing Data Analytic Masterclass. Then it's trying to move.
Good.
It's moving.
Okay, so okay, let me do something. Can you see this shape that I'm drawing now? That is what I actually want you to see. Can you see that I just
What you
created?
are drawing.
Can you see it?
No,
Wow,
no.
wow. Could it be your screen? First time I'm experiencing the. Let me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just seeing the cursor moving.
Well, can't you see these three boxes that I've created? I've actually created three boxes on top of.
Okay, yes, yes, I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it. One is longer. The other one is.
Good. That is exactly what I want to
I've
do.
seen it.
Okay, so that is what I'm using.
I've seen it.
Okay, so now, like I was saying, so I just want to illustrate what we call patterns in
Yes, sir.
data analysis. Now, I was saying that this is like product A, this is product B, and then this is product C. Now, here, product A is the trend because it's doing better than the rest. Now, followed by product B, then followed by product C. Now, how do I now measure the pattern as a data analyst? The pattern is this. Look at it. When you draw this. So, can we say that this is a progressive pattern or regressive pattern? I'm asking based on the shape.
It should be regressive now.
Regressive. Now, once your reports indicate this, then you are to make a lot of recommendation. You have to start looking at what could have led to this, what could have affected this. So as a data analyst, when you are done analyzing, you have to present a report. And that
Yes, sir.
report should have recommendations and should also have observations. Observations are your findings, what you discover, while recommendation are those discoveries that you feel that are not doing well, that you are not suggesting what they should do to improve. So if this is a real data set, then before I can recommend, then I need to also check the third one, which is called outlier. Remember I said every data analyst should have three goals. The first one is identifying what? Trend. The second one is identifying patterns. And the third one is identifying what? Outliers. So how do I know my outlier? Because sometimes it is the outlier.
So I didn't get one. I didn't get the last one. Say outliers.
Yes, outlier or correlation. Outlier or correlation.
Outlier. That's O-U-T.
OUT, then LIER.
Okay, outliers.
Yes,
Okay.
good. So now, what I was saying is that you must know the range between each of these variables before you can know your outliers. For example, you take the value, if we have like 500 here, let's say the actual value here is 500, and the actual value here, let's say, is 600. And the actual value here is, let's say, 400. I'm trying to explain what should influence your recommendation. It is not all reports, all analysis that usually lead to recommendation. It is when you identify something that recommendation comes in. Now, if you look at this, you see that the difference between 600 and if you are comparing these two, the difference between this and this is what? 100, right? And the difference between this and this is the same what? 100. Now, in a business, the recommendation here will not be that really intense because the gap, the margin between them is not that really much. So we cannot actually say that this product is not totally what? Not doing well, because the difference is just what? Minimum. But if we want to compare this and this, the difference is much. That is 200. So we cannot begin to, diagnose. That is why when we get to types of data analytics, we understand that there is a type of analysis that is called what? Diagnostic. That is where you begin to find out how did it happen? What you're trying to look deeply because data analysis is about thinking critically, thinking beyond the normal for you to be able to see this variable that can influence decision. So now I have been able to establish data analysis goals. Remember trend, followed by what again? Let me know if you were following. What are the key goals in data analysis again? Can you recap them for me? Let me know if you are following.
Okay, sir. The first one is trend.
Okay.
The second one is pattern.
Good.
Then the third one is outliers.
Or correlation. That's the difference between the highest and the least. All right. So now let's quickly look at the definition. I just want us to get the goal established so that we know, oh, this is what we are known for. So let's start with definition of data analysis. So data analysis can be defined as the process of examining data. The keyword there, examine data. It can be defined as the process of examining data sets. The process of examining data sets to conclude about information. To conclude about the information they contain. To conclude about the information they contain. That is one of the simplest way of defining data analysis. So the key words there is what? The process of examining. That is, when you are given data, critical thinking is involved. So one of the attributes of a data analyst is that they are critical thinker. They think beyond the normal. So the owner of the data could not think beyond certain level. But you are trained to think beyond. For that thinking, most time, you are using these AI tools to get some factor or some value that will help you to think through. So we can also say that data analysis helps organization make informed decision. Data analytics helps organization to make informed decision. To make informed decision. Are you following? To make informed decision. Then we can also say data analytics involves cleaning. Data analysis involves cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover insights.
Sorry, I didn't get the first one. I said it involves what?
Involves cleaning.
Cleaning.
Yeah, cleaning. Yeah, to clean. Involve cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover insights. To discover insights. Let me take it again. Data analytics involves data cleaning or cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover insights. I hope it's taken now. Is that all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have defined data analytics from 3 perspectives now. So you can either say it is the process of examining data, or you say it helps to make informed decision. So you can see that the whole world today want to make data-driven decision, and that is the best. Every business organization that wants to really make informed decision needs a data analyst. So you cannot see the reason why all of a sudden everybody is looking for this skill, and most organizations are looking for these people because now people want to reduce, the company owner want to reduce risk. In the past, they have been taking risks, making stumbling decision that they will make. We call this somersaulting decision. You see some government entities, they make decision not based on data, and at the end of the day, you see that the policies are somersaulting. And that is what is happening to most undeveloped nations. When they want to invest money, they don't look at data because they don't even have systems that collect data, because data has to be collected first. So the challenge most of the undeveloped countries are having is that they have not spent money on what? Data collection. I can't remember last your country did a census. This census, they call it, yes, census, to count people. Now, you ask me now, so that sometime when their policy fail, you know the reason why they are failing. You ask me, they don't have the index of people that are out of job. They don't have the index of people that are employed. So when they want to draw a budget, you ask me now, on what basis? Even when they want to make certain policy, like the one they just introduced now, which data is actually driving that decision? You see that at the end of the day, you just try by error. And that is why you see money will have been wasted, billions of naira will have been committed to projects that do not have any way of impacting the life of the citizen. Why? Not because they really want to fail, but because they fail to work with data. So the same thing applicable to business entities. They just wake up and then take billions of naira from their account, go to the market and start buying products as they like without finding out the past performance of each of these products, how much profit each of these products has generated, if the company is spread across different locations. Have they really sat down to look at how much is being generated per product in each of these locations, so that they will know how to distribute their capital? That is what we are saying, to distribute the capital. But you end up seeing that they don't do that. They will end up spending the larger part of the money on a product that is not even doing well. And at the end of the day, they start overrunning the employees, giving them unnecessary targets, making them feel as if they are the one that will go and bring the customer, they are the one that will make the profit. But meanwhile, the employees are not there where the decisions are made. So I'm not trying to, because we have to have a CEO mentality. We have to have manager mentality as data analysts. Until you develop yourself to that point, you will not be able to defend this field. And that is why this story that I'm telling is very important. One of the major ingredients of this field is data storytelling. You cannot come and learn a program like this and you are not ready to tell story of your data. That is what you are going to present, either in writing. In most cases, you will stand before the panel, before the stakeholders, and then probably with your projector, everything, you start breaking things down for them. And why are you doing that? You are trying to instigate some confidence in them, so that when they want to invest, they invest relying on your report. So a data analyst must not afford to fail. And that's the reason why I said the whole of this session is to lay a foundation. So after this class, you now know the thinking pattern of a data analyst. You should know that your office is very critical, because you can mislead an organization to lose a lot of money, because at the end of the day, they are going to depend on what you say. They want to make every decision, they go back to the table. What is the report of the data analyst saying concerning this, that concerning the direction we want to go? So you become a consultant, you become a counselor. And many people do not understand it. They think that it's just acquiring a skill. No, you need to be disciplined enough to make the right decision or to draw the right conclusions, because your conclusion can either influence the company positively or negatively. And of course, if after some time you give them the first insight and they applied it, and then they will always come back to analyze the performance of your previous report, and they now see that there was no result, no different from where they were before. Let me tell you, they will now start considering whether employer you is not yielding any results. And you know what that can lead to. Every businessman will always prioritize that, whether you like it or not. So the same thing, the other arm of the program you register for, which is the data marketing. So I want to show you the connection between these two programs. After you have presented your reports, and your report must have brought out the weakness of some products and some location, then part of your recommendation is that they should promote the products. You will find out that maybe the product is not properly promoted. So you will not recommend, you put it in writing, part of your report, that they should promote the product. And if they reply you that, yes, we have done promotion, we have promoted the product, and yet they are not getting results, then you will not change, you will not ask what method did they use for the promotion. Some of them, they believe in sharing Hambi. They else went to a location. You tell them, no, probably that method could not get the right people. It's just like you are marketing a right product to the wrong people. It's not going to yield any results. And that is why the whole world today is moving away from that type of marketing. And they are moving into digital marketing, running inorganic ad that can, work with the Google algorithm based on what people have been searching, and then end up showcasing the product. So they will not ask you, can you get us a digital marketer? Because some company that you may be working for, they may not know, they may not have connection. So you take the job and also run the ad for them. So this is how these two, both of them require analysis, because even when you run the ad, you are going to analyze the performance of the ad, just like the way we analyze it. So I just want us to know the whole essence of this program. So we have established different facts, and I believe with these facts, you are able to know, what this program is all about. So it's about helping organization to make informed decisions. So let's quickly look at, or do you have any question first before we take the next topic? Do you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
What I want to ask is, you said for some organization, for instance, they don't have information, they just make decision that may make them to there's a particular word you use, somersault.
Yeah, policy somersaulting. So we
So
have
they might make decision. So what are you, as an analyst, for you to come in now to get the organization make the actual decision, you need to get raw data from them, right? Are you the one that will generate the data? Because for instance, they have so many offices, they have so many branches, and then you want to analyze what those branches together generally. How do you go about that? Since they don't have, maybe they don't have data they've been keeping before.
Okay, so it's a creative question, which is expected. Now let me break it down for you. If you look at when I was saying, I said the reason why some people don't make decisions based on data, because one, they lack the data. They have refused to put system in place to help them generate data. The cost of putting system in place is very expensive. For example, now, if you are calling me to develop a data system, that's what we call data engineering. Data engineers are different from data what? Analysts. They are all in the field of what? This data science, data engineers. For example, now we use Excel. Why I am skipping that aspect? Because you have basic knowledge of collecting data. Now, in Excel, you were taught how to impute values in columns. And there are some columns that before you could generate their value, you have to do what we call, you have to generate what we call query formula. A formula that you use to multiply what is in maybe A1 column by what is in what B1 column. And then that gives you what maybe a value in a particular column. Then what we are doing at that point, you were engineering the data what? Collection. That is the role of another person in this field. That is a job title. We call them data entry personnel. That is the job description of some individual in this field. Their work is to generate data, organize the data, and pass it to what? A data analyst. Now, coming to your question, a data analyst's responsibility is not directly to create what? Data. A data analyst expects that the data has been collected by the organization, either via their website or whatever system they must have put in place. As you are coming in, you are to demand or request for the data. Now, once you are given the raw data, you will now go and sit down and determine which of these tools that you have learned based on certain conditions. So you look at the data, you look at the volume of the data. If the data is within thousands, then you use Excel. Then once you see that the data is much, then you cannot think of using Python or SQL or Power BI. So just to go straight to your question, it is not your primary duty to collect data, but if you have the knowledge of data collection, it's a plus, because there are some companies that will engage you. They don't want to split the job. There are many of them, particularly this part of the world that we are. They like using one person to do everything because they are trying to save what? Cost. So they will not expect that you should know how to put the data together. But meanwhile, if I may just use a company like Jumia, Jumia cannot call you and ask you to develop data. The reason is that their website is generating the data. Anytime anybody goes to their website to buy a product, there's a form that you'll be given to fill. That form is dumping the buyer's information at the back end database. So once they call you, they will ask you that they export the data and send it to you, or they give you the login detail. You use your SQL skill to analyze the data directly from the website. And there are some other companies, that probably have their data in all this cloud storage, like Azure, like all these companies that have, cloud storage that people can buy quota and store their data. So most of them have their data already collected. So you are coming in to analyze. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, sir.
All right. So like that kind of company, you advise them that the starting point is to consult a data engineer to develop a system. If you can do it, fine. To develop a system that can help them to track. Like, for example, now we have sales inventory system. Sales inventory is the one that helps to collect the name of the customer, the dates, and all of that. Somebody can just structure it for them. And then you give them some time, maybe after 1 month, then before you can come in and start analyzing. So let's quickly discuss some of the key steps the data analyst should follow. I think this will also be part of answering that your question. Let's look at the key step. Now, number one, what I'm saying is that where do you start from as a data analyst? Number one, data collection. Data collection is one of the key steps in this field of data analytics. Data collection. So just to summarize the rule of these steps, what do we mean by data collection? Data collection means gathering data from various sources. You see it now? Gathering data from various sources. Now, it does not really mean engineering the data. It only means that, like you were referencing the other time, the company can have different branches. So as a data analyst, once you come in, your work is to go to these branches and get their data, not to go to the branches and start instituting the data. I don't know if you get that explanation.
Yes, sir.
Good. So that is the data collection that connect to you, going to different location, getting their data, not engineering the data. All right. So number 2 is data cleaning. Number 2, we are still looking at what? Data analytics, what? Key steps. Number 2, data cleaning. So what is cleaning? Cleaning means fixing errors and inconsistencies. Fixing error and inconsistencies in a given data. Now, this is a very key step. You should not allow overconfidence not to observe this step in any case, because statistics have shown that most time people that engineer this data, they are not trained data engineers. I will give you an example. I don't want to mention country name, but this part of the country that we are, because they want to settle, they want to pay somebody less, they can go and get just a business center operator that do not understand that what he or she is going to generate will be handed over to what? To a professional that will do further work on it, to have collected it or structured it in order to help that professional to do his or her work faster. So they will just collect anyhow. Sometimes they are not even conscious of error. They don't even know what is called error. It's just like somebody entering a phone number in Excel. And you know that when you type that 070, automatically what? It will delete, a format will change. That first 0 will go. But when you know that, you can still allow that first 0 to stay by putting a kind of apostrophe before that, which means that you've converted it to what? To string. These are skills. These are skills. Now, another error that person might generate, that he or she is not considering your activities as a data analyst, is the error of entering the wrong date format. The standard database format for entering dates is that YYY, MMM, and DD, which means that what? The year should come first. You will see that most data sets that you'll be given will not follow that format. But when you are given a data set that a trained data specialist worked on, you will see the person must have arranged it. But what I'm bringing here is that there will always be some inconsistencies or discrepancies in a data set you are given. So you, as a data analyst, you don't proceed until you clean up the data. So data cleaning is just like you are perfecting the data before your analysis, because when you do not observe this step to have perfected the data, what happens is that you are going to have erroneous statistics. And when that happens, it means that the decision, that is, you are also misleading. When your statistics is not correct, the company will make wrong decisions. I don't know if I'm making sense. Let me get a response from you. Are you getting what I'm explaining?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are techniques that we are going to learn on Excel, on Python, on Power BI, on SQL for performing data cleaning or for observing this step. So there are techniques. Another techniques, there are things you need to know. So if you are in Excel, they will ask you, can you do data cleaning in Excel? Which means that if it's an interview, they want to know whether you have the skill in Excel to perfect your data. So the skill set varies depending on the tool or the platform you are using. So the next key step is data analysis. The next key step under data analysis is data analysis. So what does that term data analysis mean? As a step that once you have gathered your data from different sources, then you perform your cleaning, you perfect it, then you analyze. So at that point, what are you expected to do? Analysis means applying statistical and analytical techniques. It means applying statistical and analytical techniques. All right, that is the meaning of what? Analysis. So what is now the objective? Applying statistical and analytical techniques to identify trend, pattern, and outlier that can influence smart decision making. I hope you got it. Is that clear? Are you still with me?
Not very clear, sir. Not clear, sir.
So where did you stop? Are you still writing or just the explanation?
Yes, I'm writing for the data analysis.
Yes, I
You
said
said at this point, at this
applying,
point, okay,
yeah, applying statistical and analytical techniques, applying statistical and analytical techniques to derive or identify trends, patterns, and outliers that could help in smart decision making. That could help in smart decision making. So that is what we mean by what? Analysis as one of the key steps. I hope that is clear now. Is that
yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay. Now, how many steps? I want you to recap them. How many steps we have mentioned so far?
3.
Number 1.
The one is data collection.
Which means
I'm supposed to gather data from various sources,
good.
not engineering the data.
Good. Then the second one.
The second one is data cleaning,
Okay.
fixing error and inconsistencies
Good.
in a given data.
All right. So the last one is the data analysis, the one we just wrote now. Okay, so let's look at, I just want to see if I can finish them and then we'll stop there since. So the next one is data visualization. These are common terms you hear people using in the field. So company, when they want to employ you during an interview, they will ask, can you visualize data? You say
Sorry,
yes.
sir. Sorry. You're supposed to stop by 5:30, you know. Based
Okay.
on,
Okay, so can we stop now?
yes, sir, please.
Okay, so just write this, I wanted to
Okay.
just give you definition of the last two so that maybe we'll just explain them in the next class quickly. So data visualization, right, means presenting findings in charts and graphs or graphs. Presenting findings in charts or graphs. Presenting findings in charts or graphs. That is data visualization. I will explain it better. Just remind me. Then the last one, insight generation. Insight generation. Insight generation. And what does that mean? Drawing conclusions and recommendations. Drawing conclusions and recommendations. So I will explain these last two. Just note it down so that I can explain on Saturday. All right, so we stop here. At least we have lay some foundation, but we'll continue from there next time. Right? All right, so bye for now. Have a nice week.